Todd, you scoundrel. Bethesda does it again. To the surprise of absolutely nobody, Bethesda once again has managed to take a previously working product and made it into a pile of garbage that barely functions. And they're selling it to you at a premium. I mean, I'm personally not surprised. And honestly, boys, look, hey, it's time to red pill you. If you bought this garbage, that's on you. Honestly, if you bought this, I want Steam to remove your ability to refund. Because clearly you cannot make decisions for yourself. We have had tens of years of Bethesda being garbage, incapable, inept, stupid, and completely flaccid in all respects possible. And Todd Howard was leading the way. So, all the people who bought the anniversary edition or whatever edition Bethesda is trying to sell you this time, you don't deserve a refund. I hope in the fine print it actually says that Bethesda is now able to siphon $1,000 every month from your bank account. Because you do not deserve good if you bought this garbage. You should have known. There are no excuses at this point.
No intro. Let's do this. Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. But
Even Maddie's mad. Oh no.
Bethesda was really quiet about it, and now we know why. The pricing is egregious. This thing still has a lot of issues. The new content's not really good. You can see a big difference.
Still has a lot of issues. Does not even begin to explain how bad things really are. We're not gonna look at Twitter. X, I'm sorry, Elon. Don't take my food stamps away. Thank you. But I mean, if you have been on Twitter and you have seen what's happening, this thing is buggy. The graphics issues, every issues are even worse than they were previously. Bethesda truly does it again.
Between the new
16 times the detail. No. In this case, it's 72 times the detail. Todd Howard does it again. Again, I'm laughing about this because I completely have given up on Bethesda. I don't want them making games. I want all of their IPs to be stripped away from them, given to random people on the street, just see what happens. And all of the people working at Bethesda blacklisted from life in general. I mean, they literally should never be able to find a job even outside of the gaming industry. They should be blacklisted for life. They shouldn't even be allowed to make you a sandwich at Subway. That's how bad these people are. Blacklist them forever.
Creations and the old creations. Part of the problem with this new batch is also that like all the old creations Bethesda's having you pay for aren't nearly as good as like something we got with Skyrim Anniversary Edition. And so I sat down and spent my day playing this, and I got a lot of nostalgia for Fallout 4. It's not a perfect game by any means, although there was a time I may have claimed that. But it's not.
Better than Fallout 3.
But it's definitely a game I have a lot of great memories with, and I do like firing it up. Anytime I get an excuse to fire it up, like last year with the Next Gen update, obviously Bethesda screwing up the entire game aside, it was just still like one of those things where the emotion takes over a little bit. It's nice to go back. This is like the first time in my life where I fired up Fallout 4 and just got pissed off, dude. Like, I just am so tired of watching what I view as my favorite franchise in anything, all of entertainment, just being treated like shit. It's saddening. So let's break it down, because obviously I don't think you should go out and do what I did today, but it was one of those moments where a lot of content creators have this type of moment where you just realize like the time you spend on these things. You're like, oh, like I could have been playing something else. There's a ton of games I have on the burner right now. I'm playing like Digimon Trails in the Sky. I'm just playing so many different games, and like I could have just been doing that. But I'm playing this, and it wasn't good. It's just one of those like radicalizing moments where you're like, what am I doing? But it's important because these types of business practices, the cagey marketing, we're bringing stuff to Fallout 4 and springing these prices on you, needs to be called out and needs to be covered. And as someone who's talked about Bethesda for like half their life, I'm really disappointed in them with this. Arguably more so
Imagine only now figuring out that you need to be disappointed with Bethesda. That is some crazy stuff right there. Bethesda will soon actually have to start paying these people, and ironically, because everyone is slowly turning away from Bethesda. Mr. Matty is slowly starting to say almost negative things about it. Luke Stephens is almost saying negative things about it. Fixtra Life, almost. We haven't watched G-Man videos, but that guy's also a super mega tier, one of the boys, you know what I'm saying? All of them are slowly like starting to say negative things about Bethesda, and when you lose them, you know no one's supporting you.
In Fallout 4's next gen update, because I'm a more forgiving person than most. I can look at that and go like, all right, you took 18.
Ah, yes, the sign of weakness. The inability to go past forgiveness. You know, when someone is down, crying, and sad, and people are unable to be objective and say, "Wait a minute, I don't feel bad for you. You're literally a mass murderer." Some people are like that. I call that not being fit for life.
Months to kind of get this thing around the horn. Maybe now is a make good time. Like, just pay it back. Such fucking bullshit, dude. Let's talk about it. All right. So the pricing breakdown. It's all these creations that have been previously added to Fallout 4. Everything from like the pint-sized slasher.
Yep, that's console gaming for you. Okay, you shoot. You have 3 shots. You miss 2 somehow at melee range. That is prime time console.
Mask to like Grognak the Barbarian's reskin stuff as like a Skyrim Nord fantasy armor set. All that's here. It's $20 for the bundle. This is stuff I've covered on the channel in the past. Everything from like the going back to the Capital Wasteland to a lot of just loot driven stuff. Oh, kill this random guy in the glowing sea and he'll drop the BFG from Doom, or here's Morgan Yu's outfit from Prey. Just stuff that would be thrown really into the game. It was the beginning of Creation Club for Bethesda, and so you can feel they're very bottom of the barrel. A lot of just skins. The quests attached to them are like launch 76 edition style storytelling where you're just reading notes and terminals that you have like no
Based Bethesda, they understood, wait a minute, we could sell 76 to these people in Fallout 4.
connection to. There's no.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone looked at this and figured out, wait a minute, this is actually AI. No, seriously, that should not be surprising at this point for Bethesda.
Characters, you're just finding notes and chasing ghosts and then eventually finding the loot, and the quest is over in like 20 minutes and you feel a little empty on the inside. It's $20 of that, and I mean that with no disrespect to the modders, of course, because I know many of the modders who work on these things are really good. I understand at the time the system was very limited. However, when you look at what Skyrim did with its much more expansive dungeons, its survival mode that it added in, fishing it added in, it really did with the creations and the anniversary upgrade add a lot more to the game itself that was already doing so much. It expanded in logical ways where Fallout 4, which is already very unfortunately looter shootery and less RPG-ish, got a bunch of creations that just threw a bunch of loot in there. So if you enjoy picking up new things in Fallout 4 and using them for a little bit, I guess you'll have an all right time. But if you want the entire, let's say you played base Fallout 4 and you're like, I'm good on the DLC, you never bought it, and you want the creations and the season pass, that anniversary edition upgrade is $40. Are you guys?
I mean, based Bethesda. This is probably not even Microsoft saying, "Hey Bethesda, you're losing us money. You're garbage. We bought you for 8 billion, and now you're gonna deliver us negative fucking billions returns a year." This is not even probably Microsoft telling them to say sell this for $40. Let's be real. Bethesda themselves probably want to do this. Microsoft, again, I just want to remind everyone, the hilarious part about the Microsoft takeover of Bethesda is that Microsoft is the good guys here. Because Microsoft has prevented Starfield from coming out 2 years early. Yeah, because they literally said, Bethesda, you're not releasing this. This is gonna be worse than 76. And I'm honestly sad. I'm sad that Microsoft prevented us from receiving another 76 bonanza because it was great. It was hilarious. I literally watched tens of hours of videos about how bad 76 was while playing it myself. So the fact that that got taken away from us in the form of Starfield makes me kind of sad. But remember, Microsoft somehow is actually keeping the Bethesda to at least some sort of quality level. Without Microsoft, it would be worse. That's food for thought.
Insane. Like, this is next level head up your ass. Seriously. I looked at this and I went, there's no way. I guess it makes sense. Again, they were hiding the price tag. This would have been a disaster ahead of launch. So you wait until the anniversary itself to drop the price tag. That's unbelievable. No one should ever. That is a full price game. I mean, we're talking about 10-year-old game. It's on the anniversary. A 10-year-old game, $40 to get all of its DLC and these cheap creations. And then if you are not an owner of Fallout 4, you're like, I want to buy everything all at once. The anniversary edition is $60. This is Nintendo level stuff where leading into the launch of the Switch 2, we were looking at the prices. We're like, dude, you're not that guy. And I mean, they sold anyways, but we know who this is for. This is not for people like me who are going to bitch and moan about it, or people like you. It's for the people watching the TV show who are too casual to know about this stuff. But I hope they come across this video because it's unacceptable, dude. These prices are terrible. Everything here should be at least half price. $10 for the creation bundle, I think you could get away with. $20 for the anniversary upgrade would put it in line with sort of what we got with Skyrim. And then, yeah, like $30.
Yeah, if it's a ripoff like Skyrim, that makes it good. What a take.
For the anniversary edition, I'd be like, okay, you know, that, like, I feel half of all of this could be a lot more acceptable, but it's clearly taking advantage of a fan base here. So yeah, the pricing's awful, and this doesn't even get into the broader.
Bethesda has pretty much no fans left. And if they're taking advantage of the fans at this point, I could not care less. You know what? Good on Bethesda. Because, again, if you're a Bethesda fan at this point, why? How? Have you ever taken an IQ test? Go take a standardized government IQ test. You're gonna be receiving government paychecks for life, buddy, okay? That's gonna be the real big one. Also, by the way, IQ test or not, I love you anyway. I want you to know that, and that's why you should definitely subscribe and like the video. Like the video right now. It takes less than a second. And I greatly appreciate all of you who do. It truly helps out the channel. It helps out a lot, and that is a thing that you can do on YouTube that makes a difference. It really does actually matter. For every like, 2 more people are going to see this video, and that is impact. That is a lot of impact, so thank you for everyone who does that. And, well, if you think this is important, then definitely like and subscribe right now. And, well, again, thank you for everyone who does that. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
Experience that I have yet to talk to you all about, right? You have the creation menus themselves, which I imagine this will be ironed out over time. They are just launching this whole new feature, but it barely loads. You go into the
no, oh, it's a new feature, so that's why it doesn't work. Bethesda's so lazy that they can't even make their their paid stuff work any longer. At least when 76 came out, everything was buggy except the Atom Shop, okay? That thing was spot on working always, okay? You could spend your money on it even when the servers were offline. It was that good. And now Bethesda can't even make this thing correct? Wow.
Creation menu and just everything's like processing in real time. When I fired up the game itself, they're like, hey, you got a new creation update. You want to initialize it? I'm like, yeah, sure. And it just got stuck on initializing. Like, this thing is still busted. And what I mean by that is, remember my next gen update review for Fallout 4 last year? What did I talk about? How bad the next gen update was with load times on PC. So that was the main thing I was hoping for. I don't care if my load times are in like the 10 to 15 second range. I'm patient enough. But when it was like 3 minutes, like it was last year, I wanted to lose my mind. I was like, how did you make it this much worse? They did improve it to like a minute now. There are it's like Starfield, bro. They turned Fallout 4 into Starfield. Like, when I'm trying to fast travel around this map and do all these creation quest lines, and it's just constantly like another minute, another minute. Usually when you're transitioning from an interior to an exterior, right? So when you're going from like inside one of these buildings to the broader Commonwealth map, the load times are terrible. Nothing I did helped. It is, again, this next-gen update continuing to plague it. Again, they did make it better. Like, I'm not waiting 3 minutes now, 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes. I'm waiting usually 1 minute, but it takes you out of it constantly, dude. It's awful. So the load screens are a big blow again. And then the other things that started to pop up, which is, I was like, wow, I must be in some foul mood today, because the quality of life updates that this game could have easily had from a player point of view that are not here, that all these creations demand, drove me up a wall. So as I'll start to break down the creations here, a lot of them are like, read this note, use this holotape, insert this finger into the mailbox. And when you're like me and you have a save file that's like over 200 hours long, and Fallout 4's inventory management system is terrible, something that, hey, 76, love you for this, figured it out. How did they figure it out? They put a tab on the Pip-Boy for new items. So anything recently looted was right there. They added a separate tab for notes.
That's the solution? That is kind of insane. Also, these are not really... I could have made these solutions. I think I don't have ever had a session that is longer than like 20, 30, 40 hours in Fallout on a single character. So, I mean, I have no idea how you get problems like this, but even then, finding the right note or whatever is really annoying. So, the fact that actually Bethesda hasn't fixed that, man, I never thought about this, but yeah, the fact that they just don't have a holotape section, holotape section and note section and something like that in a new tab, that is just ass.
Added a separate tab for miscellaneous and junk. They broke it up more and more, and it's so much easier to find the stuff you need in that game. All these quests.
Yeah, Bethesda managed to prove that Excel has its uses.
From the creations are built around finding a needle in a haystack in the case of my save file. And I know I'm not alone on this, because I know y'all have played it a ton too. So if you're like me and you have like a complete save file, you want to dive back into Fallout 4, you're going to be hunting for these items. The amount of times I pause my recording to then tab out of Fallout 4, which by the way still feels like a game from the early 2000s, when I try to tab out of this thing, it like locks up my computer for a brief moment, all the screens flash, and then now I have full control again. So they've done a terrible job with that as well. But anyway, I go back into my recordings, I'm like, what was the name of the item? It's like, oh, it's not so-and-so's finger, it's bounty so-and-so's finger. Or it's not just like the name of the note, it's like the quest objective that...
Oh yeah, true, actually. But, I mean, is this it? I mean, we know that Fallout is a horribly optimized, horribly developed game on a general level. That's everything Bethesda, especially if you play a save for a long period of time. But
references the note and as well as the actual object name itself are two different things. So the game just, in these new creations, just don't do a good job guiding you. So I'm crashing out before I've even talked about any of the new content here. But yeah, man, like I'm just, again, super disappointed. And there were just so many little things they could have done to celebrate the anniversary of the game. So what's new here, right? When you fired up, the new things are Institute plasma weapons, ion gun that's been added, a bunker home pack, so more workshop stuff. Cyberdog has been added as a new kind of companion. The sea scavengers have been added, basically.
I mean, this is just crazy, because effectively all that Bethesda have done is added mods to the original base game, and now they're trying to sell them as real things. That's pretty much the summary of this. If that doesn't sound bad and sad to you, well, I don't know what will.
Just like, getting a new set of outfits. You can put armor on your Brahmin, which is, again, this is like right here. I'm just like, this is like Fallout's version of horse armor. It's like, this is the shit we're doing here. And then Railroad's Clandestine Couture, which is another set of like 5 Railroad outfits, and then repurposed power armor helmet. So that's like your new stuff they're throwing in here, right? This is something I talked about a couple of days ago. Remember,
So you're telling me this is still actually better than the season pass for Borderlands 4? Maybe I was too harsh on Bethesda. Considering Borderlands 4 Battle Pass, that's the name I'm looking for, it's worse than this. Man, it truly is the race to the bottom with AAA development, is it not? In any case, that was Mr. Matty Plays 10 out of 10. Bye!